Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about exception handling. Let's look at the code. We have a list of numbers. Our objective here is to find out the average of all the numbers on that list. For that, we have created a function that returns the average. When we run the code, we get the following output. Let's look at one of the edge cases. What if numbers is an empty list? When we rerun the code, we get the following error. We are now presented with a zero division error. Before we fix it, let's look at the error for a moment. This is occurring because the list is empty. However, the error message is not very descriptive. It doesn't provide any hint about why we are dividing something by zero. Let's fix that. Let's add a conditional statement that checks if the length of the list is 0, and if it is 0, then raise an error. In this case, let's raise a value error. While zero division error accurately reflects the mathematical issue, value error allows for a more descriptive message. We can explain that the specific error is caused by an empty list, making it clearer for the user. When we rerun the code, we get the following error message. As you may notice, it is now printing the value error, but still the program is terminated before finishing the execution. How do I know that? Well, at the last line of the code, there is a print statement. If you look at the output of the code, you won't see the statement anywhere, which means it is not being executed. The program terminates before it gets to that step. The code is raising the error, but it doesn't know what to do after that. As soon as any error occurs, if we don't handle it properly, it will terminate the execution. To handle it properly, we need to use try and except blocks. But where to keep it? If you look at the traceback message, you will notice it all started with line 11 when we called the function. So we need to wrap that in a try block, and in case it comes across an error, we need to handle that as well. So let's have an except block. The try block will run the code, and if there is any error, then the except block will catch that. When we run it this time, we get this message in the terminal. And this is how we can handle exceptions and errors. But what if inbuilt error classes aren't enough? How about we create our custom error class? Let's create a class called empty list error that inherits exception class. Let's make some changes to the constructor so that it will print a custom message. How about we add the size of the list to it? We can hard code it to the value 0, but let's make it a bit more dynamic. Now that we have custom error class, let's make some minor changes to the code. It looks good now. Let's run it again. As expected, we can see the custom error message in the terminal. Is that all? Definitely not. There is always room for improvement. There are other edge cases that we need to handle. For instance, what if the list contains a string? That will raise a different error that we need to handle. We have dived into the concept of multiple exception handling. It doesn't end there. We can go further into exception chaining, tracebacks, and exception hooks, just to name a few. But that's for you to research. It will take time to understand these layers, and with experience you will learn. And always remember, just because something works doesn't mean it cannot be improved. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.